Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you in another video. All right, so I want to reiterate a point I made last night because I'm listening to people have conversations about what the Lakers should do, and in regards to either crap or get off the pot. And I think I've been actually accused of saying that as well on this channel throughout the summertime, saying that I want to either blow it up or go all in, and I don't believe in going all in, so blow it up. But at this point, now that LeBron James has a no trade clause, us blowing it up doesn't bring us back the same equity that maybe it would have when I was suggesting that. Now you got to ask LeBron where he wants to go, and then from there, that eats away at your opportunity to get the best return for him. So, the suggestion that people are saying is the Lakers need to trade all their picks. Picks don't matter. And, we only got 2 years left for LeBron. So we need to go all in and trade our future away. And I definitely do not agree. I think the reality is, as I look at all the angles and I assess a 7 to 10 year plan that the Laker franchise organization should be considering right now, the best thing for the Los Angeles Lakers to do is probably something very small that doesn't cost them picks. I do think something should be done. I don't think you just sit on your hands and don't try to find something. If you can find a deal, do it. If you find something that's absolutely worth your 2 picks and it drives you to the point where you can't say no, then maybe you move on from the picks then. But as far as me giving up 2 picks for a couple of role players that are going to make this team a little better, no. No is literally what I'm going to say if I'm franchise GM and owner. I'm not doing that. And so for those who are sitting around saying, well, in that case, have a sit-down conversation with Bron and AD, I say, why? And maybe you say because you can't win. So what's in their contracts that force me to either mortgage everything or move them? Did they sign anything in that contract to say that? No. So where's the leverage for anybody on their side to force me into doing something like that? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit the Lakers to do either one of those extremes. It may satisfy certain fans who have short-term mentalities about what they want done during the LeBron James era, but it ain't going to actually bring you back the return that's going to make you any good, and it ain't going to initiate your rebuild into a healthy space. So the best thing for the Lakers to do is to hold on to both of their picks and hold on to both of their stars and sit here and tell them to have a good season. That's what's in the Lakers' best interest long term. Because anything else is otherwise going to have you deflating from an already deflated war chest of assets. You can't get the best return for what you have. In other words, you're selling everything you have for half, or you're giving away your future, as to which these players are going to be gone at those years, which means those are going to be tanking years. You're going to need those picks. So how is it in my best interest to do either one of those extremes or yield to either one of those pressures from outside sources who don't even have a 7-year, 10-year scope? They're looking at these 2 years like this is the only thing that we're going to be focused on. Those going to be the same fans that are hanging around after LeBron James leaves, wanting the team to be better, or will skedaddle any damn way as soon as he retires, as to which I got to already count them in as a loss. So why the hell am I trying to adhere or acquiesce to what they need when they ain't even real fans? The real fans are going to be rooting for this team in 2028, 2029, 2030, when we don't have picks because we gave it all in for the LeBron James era, which at that point will be empty, whether we win a championship or not, because we're going to be focused on our rebuild and we ain't going to have nothing to rebuild with. I'm sorry. I'm not that type of stupid. We already had LeBron James for 7 years. We already won a championship with LeBron James for 7 years. Why am I ring chasing as a franchise when I got 17 of them and won one with him? I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. Now, if the players come to me and say we want to move, then I will look around for the best option to move them. And if I don't find anything, then they ask to stay right here, because that's what the leverage I have is. I gave them contract, gave Bron no trade clause, drafted Bron's son. Why the hell am I going to move him because of public pressure to mortgage my future when that doesn't benefit me either? I'm not doing anything to hurt myself just because y'all screaming and hollering and want things done. No, I'm not doing any of that. This is your team. And we're going to try to make moves if we can. If they make sense, we'll make moves. Otherwise, we sitting still. I got the 2 cash cow superstars in place, making it so that my TV money, the seat money, everything that needs to be done to fill up this arena is intact no matter who's playing around these guys. And I got 2 first-round picks for which I've already mortgaged 2 others, which is why I only have 2. I'm not about to throw all that in to the pot just so that these guys can have an opportunity to wet the bed against the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. They're going to do that anyway. I don't need to make no moves. They're going to do that. And that's what I have to assess if I'm the front office. That's what I have to assess if I'm Jeanie Buss. Why do I have to adhere to any of these extremes just because talking heads are looking at something from a short-term perspective? I got a full franchise to run for the next 15, 20 years. And me mortgaging picks from 2030 just so a 40-year-old guy can get his 5th championship ring does not make any damn sense to me. None at all. Not if I'm looking at it from the scope that I am. No. Now, if you plan on not being around for the next 2 years, and yeah, you got a 2-year window from which to look at everything. Yeah, we got to hurry up or the world's going to end in 2028. I'm sorry. That's just not how I'm looking at this. Y'all still going to be fans of 2029, 2030, all them years you mortgaging picks. Great players going to be coming in with the same picks that you're giving away. And Walker Kessler's probably going to be on the Jazz again sometime down the road. Like, that's a waste. That's absolute waste, man. And given the fact that we wasted so much, it makes absolutely no sense for us to be adhering to that type of pressure. I could see if we never made the Westbrook trade, never made the trade to get Westbrook out of here that cost 2 picks, and still sitting on picks. Yeah, we're pick rich to a degree. Maybe we should move some picks to improve the team. But we've already done things that ate away at the equity that would otherwise allow for us to build from here, or rather retool with these guys still on the team. They already had that investment poured into them. And what came of it? And they crashed and burned. So why am I going to reinvest and get them Jonas, Fallon, Schunas? Man, get out of here with that garbage. Jonas Valanciunas should have signed with us for $3 million. Now he want to sign a $15 million contract with a tanking team so we go trade for it. Now I'm supposed to give up trade equity to do that? Man, get to hell. I ain't doing that. People need to start thinking from a long-term perspective, not because they care about a long-term perspective, but it's because they'll understand what the franchise is looking at when they do and don't do certain things, because that's their responsibility to look at it from a long-term perspective. I am not about to mortgage any more of my future for this core. Nor am I moving this core because I'm unwilling to mortgage any more of my future. I'm not doing either one of those things. I'm sitting right here. If I can move Gabe Vincent for Jonas Valanciunas without throwing any equity, cool. If we can move expiring D'Lo and expiring and 2 years or 3 years of Rui for Brandon Ingram or who else, whatever the other name is, cool, we'll do that. You know what I'm saying? We can make a move like that for Walker Kessler if that's what they want to do. Cool, we'll do that. But as far as me throwing any trade equity or young players that I believe in or some of my favorite guys, whatever the case may be, I'm not doing no more mortgaging so these guys come up short. I'm not doing that. And mind you, when we won the championship, their supporting cast was as cheap as it had ever been. The least amount of money we spent on our supporting cast was the year we won the championship. But I need people to understand that. We was getting people like Avery Bradley and Markieff Morris. Them dudes was vet minimums. That's when we won. Now, when we start mortgaging everything, that's when we started losing. The more expensive it is, the less they were able to accomplish. So why in the hell am I going to invest more? With that logic. Like, I need people to just look at what the Laker organization is responsible for, which is the full picture, not just LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Nor do anybody in LeBron James or Anthony Davis camp have the leverage to force me to move them because I'm unwilling to invest any further. They just don't have that. Now, if I decide to acquiesce to that and they decide they want to move on, I might be inclined to allow them to move on if I find a return that makes me happy, but they're still on contract. They're still on contract. And LeBron James' son is on the team, which means he's not inclined to go any damn where. He's not. He ain't gonna agree to a trade because of that. And because he has that no trade clause, he has to agree, is essentially what I'm saying to y'all. We gave up the leverage that would allow us to move him like a thief in the night. He stuck to us. And so if he stuck to us, so is a win now timeline, whether we keep AD or not. So you're telling me I'm going to have to trade AD for win now pieces? How does that help my rebuild? If I'm going to be moving AD and keeping LeBron James, how does that help my rebuild? If I can't trade AD for a plethora of picks, I got to trade him for players that need to win now so that keep up with LeBron. No, none of that stuff make any sense to me. None of that makes any sense to me. I'm not doing any of that. I do believe the Lakers need to call up the young players that they refuse to play, like Quincy Olivari and Max Lewis, and develop them better as role players for this team. It gives us more athleticism, and it allows for players who are going to be getting better to start the process of being better as they make certain mistakes and get more experience. That's the type of thing that I can do to make your team better. I'm going to start developing these guys with you on the floor, moving the Gabe Vincents and the Cam Reddishes out, moving the Quincy Olivari, the Max Lewises, and the Max Christies and those guys in. That's how we playing. More Dalton Connect. We going to go youth movement around these old guys. That's how we do it. We make our team better that way. I might try, if I can get Vanderbilt healthy sometime during the year before the trade deadline, he out. Trade him for something that makes some sense to me. If I can move Gabe Vincent in that same deal, he's out. Do something that makes some sense to me. That's the type of thing the Lakers need to be doing. I don't agree that you remove a entire role-playing system of vets out of your team because you need some people who know what they're doing around LeBron and AD. But most of the guys that we got aren't the right vets for that, in my opinion. They're not reliable, can't stay healthy, not at the position that we really are shallow in. We got young guys playing the center position behind AD. Maybe you get a vet in that regard. Maybe you get a Jonas Valanciunas if you can do it without giving up picks. But as far as I'm concerned, we don't need to be doing some of the stuff that people think. Dorian Finney-Smith, his price is too high. If they want to bring his price down and remove the pick equity, maybe I make a trade to get Gabe Vincent over to Brooklyn. We can do that for Dorian Finney-Smith, which I don't. I don't think that's fair for Brooklyn, but I don't care because I don't have a whole lot as a Laker. I can't give you no first round pick for no role player that's facing Father Time, fam. No. And all these teams that are going to demand me give 2 picks because they know I have 2 picks need to understand I don't give 2 S's. You know what I'm trying to say? You know this rhyme. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not doing it. I ain't giving you 2 turds. You ain't getting 2 picks. So for me, it's like, nah, man, I'm not rolling, y'all. I want people to understand something. I'm a fan that has a big picture understanding because I've been a fan my whole life. So I've watched us exit the Kobe era. I watched us exit the young kids era. I watched us have LeBron James on the team and then trade some of those kids that we had. I've watched us do a lot of stuff. Pass up on Jason Tatum, pass up on De'Aaron Fox for Alonzo Ball because we were doing, the media thing rather than focusing on basketball. I didn't watch us make so many damn mistakes over the years, bro. Watch so many players coming in and out of this lineup, traded away Shaq for pennies. Lamar luckily turned into something, but them first 2 years with Lamar, he couldn't make a layup. Like, I ain't forgot none of that, bro. I'm old enough to remember all that. I started watching when Sedale Threatt was on the team. You understand what I'm saying? Nick Van Axel. Like, I done seen so many people come and go, bro. I'm not that interested in this era like that, especially when it's lasted 7 years and we got like 1 championship out of it. Come on, man. Like, and you want me to mortgage the rest of my future so tomorrow's team sucks after LeBron James goes off into the night, buys a Western Conference Vegas team, and then ultimately runs us into the ground with his team after running us into the ground with this era? Hell nah, bro. He opt tomorrow if his dream comes true. I know better. I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? I got to make sure my team is good those years, bro. I got to make sure my team is good. And given the fact that we've been throwing roster spots away, letting players like Scottie Pippen and Jay Huff and AC and all these people walk, Julius Randle, all these people walk, and they play better where they going, I got to stop all of that if I'm the Lakers. That's what I'm most inclined to do. Not listen to the extremists talking about go all in or trade everything. I'm not doing either one of those extremes. I'm going to look at what I need to be responsible for, and I'm going to take care of it. My responsibilities, making sure booty's in seats. Bron and AD got that covered. Make sure I keep my picks for when it's time for them to bounce. I got that covered. Ain't nothing. I ain't got to do nothing y'all talking about. All that stuff y'all talking about ain't got nothing to do with the health of my franchise. Ain't got nothing to do with keeping money in my pocket. If I'm Jeannie Bucks, I ain't got to do none of that. So that's why I want people to understand, man. We ice cold over here. I'm not pleased with the product on the floor, but I'm also not inclined to destroy my future to improve it. I'm not. I have no interest in doing that. That don't make no sense to me, man. At all. And for those who say picks don't matter, you don't know what you're talking about. That is absolutely the wrong thing to say. You don't believe that, because when the next player comes into the league with all this hype and fanfare like Cooper Flagg is, and your team is trash, you're going to be getting that player for the team that you traded that pick to. You're going to be sitting up there on draft night with a long face because the best player is going to another team because of that stupid stuff you did back in 2024 when you really needed a center and didn't care about your picks. I'm too smart to do it, man. I'm not that type of stupid. That's the reality of it. I know how that feels on draft day. I didn't watch enough drafts to know how crappy it feels when you're watching a good player go somewhere else because of something stupid you did that you ain't even benefiting from anymore. Player you traded for is gone now. And so is your pick into the hands of Danny Ainge with Utah. Nah, we ain't doing that type of stupid stuff. I got any control over it. Hell no. No, we hold our picks. We hold our stars. Have a good season. Stay healthy. Congratulations on the contract and having your son drafted. Thank you for choosing us 7 years ago. Let's ride out into the sunset, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. This is what you got. This is your team. Make it work. Develop these young guys. Huddle up with your coach and make it work. Don't ask me to do too much. I mean, yeah, we do need to do some things. Don't get it twisted. We do need to improve our center position. We could use another backup, this or that. And I can find that stuff without giving up picks. That's what I'm telling you all. I believe that a good GM can find that stuff without giving up picks. Now, if this GM can't do that, that's on him. But don't tell me they can't be done. Because they got guys in the G League that can play those positions that are balling out right now. Dudes scoring 35 and 40 and stuff like that. Go call one of them dudes up. Don't tell me you can't fill a position when you got a whole G League full of guys who are waiting to get opportunities, especially when half of them are down there for the wrong reasons, just like Quincy Olivares. I don't want to hear it. Go get them. You got guys overseas that people find every year. Go get them. Don't tell me the only thing you can find is within the pool of this NBA. They got guys overseas right now ready to play center for you. Go get them. Can't run that on me. So that's where I'm at with it, man. I ain't giving them no picks for no Jonas Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas is going to retire 2 years from now. And the picks you gave up for him are going to be drafted, and they're going to be better than him. That's the part about it. That second round pick, or those 2 second round picks you're going to give up for Jonas Valanciunas, when those picks are drafted, those will probably be better players than Jonas Valanciunas. Those 2 first round picks that you're going to give up for Walker Kessler, you're going to find out that both of those first round picks are probably going to be better players than Walker Kessler. So, no, I'm not that type of stupid. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm not. Y'all can run that on 90% of Laker fans. With this one, I'm in the 10%. We ain't running away from no opportunities to make sure that our team is both lucrative in the short term and decent in the long term, man. And when it's time to rebuild, I'm going to have my picks in place. So when the next Cooper Flag or Wemby or Zion or LeBron comes around, it ain't going to be me watching him go to some other team because I needed to make some move to get some role player in an era that's no longer. I'm too smart for that. And I think you should be as well. BDO 44, thank you all for watching. Wow.